The history of the United States quarter-dollar coin from the year 2000 is a fascinating chapter in American numismatics that reflects not only changes in coin design and minting technology, but also the cultural and historical themes that shaped the nation at the turn of the millennium. The year 2000 was part of the legendary 50-state quarters program, a program launched by the United States Mint in 1999 and continued until 2008. It was one of the most popular and successful coin series in the history of the United States, designed to honor each of the 50 states with a unique reverse design released in the order in which each state joined the Union. By the year 2000, the program was in its second year, and 5 new designs were released, each representing a different state. These were Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, and Virginia. Each of these quarters told a story of history, culture, and pride. Massachusetts was the first quarter of 2000, featuring the Minuteman, a symbol of the American Revolution, standing with a rifle beside an outline of the state. This design honored the state's crucial role in the fight for independence and the idea of ordinary citizens rising to defend their freedom. Next came Maryland, with its design showing the dome of the Maryland State House surrounded by white oak leaves, the white oak being the state tree. This design represented Maryland's colonial history and its important place as a founding state. South Carolina's quarter was particularly symbolic. It displayed the state outline with the palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and the yellow jessamine flower, representing the state's nickname, the Palmetto State. The palmetto tree itself carried deep meaning, tracing back to the Revolutionary War and the defense of Fort Moultrie, built from palmetto logs, which absorbed cannon fire effectively. New Hampshire's design featured the famous Old Man of the Mountain, a natural rock formation that resembled the profile of a human face. The formation was a cherished symbol of the state, representing nature's beauty and rugged strength. Though it sadly collapsed in 2003, the quarter remains a timeless tribute to it. The final quarter of 2000 represented Virginia, showing the 3 ships, Susan, Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, which carried English settlers to Jamestown in 1607, marking the first permanent English settlement. In America, each of these designs was chosen through a process that involved state governors, state historical societies, and citizen participation, making the series not just a coin collection, but a national storytelling project. The obverse side of all 2000 quarters featured the portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, though the design was slightly modified by William Cousins for the State Quarters program. The coin maintained its classic appearance with the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and Quarter Dollar. The quarters from 2000 were struck in 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced coins for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced special proof coins for collectors. Proof coins were struck in both clad and 90% silver versions for coin sets sold by the United States Mint. The mint marks PD or S were placed to the right of Washington's ponytail below the motto, In God We Trust. The minting technology of the time was highly advanced, allowing for more detailed engraving and consistent quality than in earlier decades. Millions of each state quarter were produced, making them widely available and encouraging people to collect the entire series. This coin collecting boom drew millions of Americans into the hobby. Even those who had never collected coins before the year 2000 quarters are remembered as part of a larger movement that reconnected Americans with their history through everyday change. They were also educational tools used in schools to teach geography and state history for collectors. There are some varieties and errors from the 2000 quarters that hold special interest. The most famous is the 2000 South Carolina quarter, with off-center strikes, die cracks, or double die obverse errors, which can make them more valuable depending on condition and rarity. Another notable error type seen in some 2000 quarters is the improper clad layer error, in which part of the copper core shows through. because the nickel layer was missing or incomplete. These errors are uncommon and highly collectible, particularly in uncirculated condition. The 2000 proof silver quarters have also become favorites among collectors because of their brilliant mirror-like surfaces and low mintage compared to circulation strikes. Beyond the technical details, the 2000 quarters represent an important moment in American identity. At the dawn of the 21st century, the 50-state quarters program became a national celebration of diversity and unity as each state was honored. In turn, it fostered civic pride and encouraged millions of people to learn about the history, symbols, and traditions of states they might never have visited. It also showed how coins can serve as miniature monuments preserving art, history, and culture in a form that passes from hand to hand, generation to generation. By the end of the program in 2008, the United States Mint had produced more than 34 billion state quarters, making it one of the most successful numismatic initiatives ever undertaken. The year 2000 quarters hold a special nostalgic value today, representing the early excitement of the new millennium and the pride of the American states. Their designs remain among the most detailed and meaningful in modern U.S. coinage, from the steadfast Minuteman of Massachusetts to the sailing ships of Virginia. Each coin from that year tells a unique story about the founding ideals and natural beauty of America, and how those ideals continue to be celebrated through art and history. In coin form, the legacy of the 2000 quarter dollar continues to this day as collectors and historians look back on the era when coins were more than money. They were pieces of the American story struck in metal and shared across the nation. To explore more deeply into the history of the United States quarter dollar coin from the year 2000, we have to look beyond just the designs and examine the origins of the quarter itself, its evolution through American history, the cultural meaning it carried, and how the 2000 state quarters fit into that long tradition. The quarter dollar denomination dates back to the Coinage Act of 1792, which established the U.S. Mint and created the dollar as the standard unit of American currency. At that time, silver was the metal of choice for most higher denominations, and the quarter dollar was intended to be worth 1/4 of a silver dollar. Hence its name. The first quarter was struck in 1796, featuring a design by Robert Scott, the chief engraver of the early U.S. Mint. It displayed a small eagle on the reverse and a draped bust of Liberty on the obverse. The coin was made of 89.24% silver and 10.76% copper, and only a little over 6,000 of them were struck, making them extremely rare today. Throughout the 1800s, the quarter's design changed multiple times, reflecting the artistic and political sentiments of each era. By 1804, the heraldic eagle reverse replaced the small eagle symbolizing national pride and strength. In 1815, after a brief pause in production, quarters returned with the capped bust design created by John Reich, followed by the seated Liberty design.